someone who is fascinated with foldable phones, I'm both happy and disappointed about the OPPO Find N3. Why? You're about to find out. Hindi ko na pagtatagalin pa, I'm disappointed because the OPPO Find N3 is not officially coming to the Philippines. OPPO Philippines probably has a reason for that, but this one, the OPPO Find N3 Flip, is officially coming soon. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Despite not being launched here, let's still talk about the OPPO Find N3. This is an important step for us because this phone promises quite a lot, and I kind of get the reason why OPPO is not going to bring it here officially. Now, while I'm not happy that this will not arrive in the Philippines, this gives more reason for OPPO Philippines to focus on the Find N3 Flip. The previous generation was a huge success here in the Philippines because of its acceptable price, especially when it's compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 4. And it's just best and logical for OPPO to launch the N3 Flip here later this month. The OPPO Find N3 Fold, for better understanding, might likely be priced a little higher and would somewhat be quite misaligned to OPPO's KPI for the year. It is, however, a good branding exercise for OPPO Philippines, and this is the reason why I have one right here, courtesy of OPPO. Now, in terms of design, there is no question that this is one of the best-looking foldable smartphones of OPPO. I am not a huge fan of its over-protruding camera bump though, and its less slim demeanor, but I am totally digging it overall. The devil is in the details though. If you take a look at the corner sides of the display and also the back panel, they're quite curved, which makes it look less boxy, if I may say. This is also OPPO's thinnest foldable smartphone and does not have any gap between its display when folded, as you can see right there. It measures 5.8mm thick when unfolded and weighs about 239 grams. It is a little bit thicker than the Huawei Mate X3, but that's probably because the one from Huawei has a less protruding camera bump. What I have here is the classic black version, which sports a faux leather design. It has an amazing grip despite being a foldable phone, and the folding experience is actually very, very smooth. This is all thanks to its third generation flexion hinge, which now has a certification of up to 1 million folds. The Galaxy Z Fold 5 only certifies up to 200,000 folds. The new flexion hinge is built with zirconium-based liquid metal, which is supposedly very rigid. The hinge also features OPPO's aircraft-grade steel, which is 5 times stronger than traditional stainless steel. While this is not waterproof, OPPO implemented a weather sealing process that protects it from water splashes. Oh, and also, before I forget, the phone, the new OPPO Find N3, also has this new alert slider that will allow you to quickly change modes like silent, vibrate, and ring modes. Now, let's talk about display. When unfolded, the OPPO Find N3 has this 7.8-inch AMOLED display. It has a peak brightness of 2,800 nits and pixel density of 426 ppi. It is compatible with Dolby Vision and HDR10+ and features a refresh rate from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. Now, as you can see right here, the inner display is virtually crease-free. And just to compare, take a look at the inner display of the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 right there. And let's not forget the Tecno Phantom V Fold right there. Obviously, you can barely see the difference on the Find N3, and that says a lot about the ingenuity of OPPO, especially in the R&D department. Now, about the outer display, it is just as awesome as before. It features a 6.3-inch AMOLED display with the same level of peak screen brightness of the inner display. It has slightly more pixel density and has Dolby Vision and HDR10+ as well. Refresh rate is also from 1 to 120 Hz, which can have a huge impact in terms of usage and battery performance. Now, in terms of performance, this one is packed with Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with 16GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB of UFS 4.0 storage. While they did not say that this is powered by the enhanced version of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is found also on the Galaxy S23 Ultra, its overall performance seems to dwarf our other flagship smartphones in the gaming department, but not on some of our artificial test applications. And if you take a look at these charts, the Find N3 performs better in 3D rendering overall, but fails to squeeze the full potential of its chipset in terms of productivity applications. Definitely, you can play games on this one. There's no doubt about that. I was able to play Furlet 84 here, and also Diablo Immortal, Mobile Legends, and let's not forget Honkai Star Rails. And they play very, very well. Now, games like Diablo Immortal, they don't have turbo mode enabled here, but that's okay with me. Game is very much playable. Albeit, I actually enjoyed playing Diablo Immortal more on the outer display than the inner display because it's a little bit different when you play it at that aspect ratio on Diablo Immortal. Now, one of the best features of this phone is its camera. You get 48 megapixel wide camera with 1.43-inch sensor and f1.7 aperture lens with OIS. It also has 64 megapixel telephoto camera with half-inch sensor and f2.6 aperture. This one also has another 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera with half sensor and f2.2 aperture lens. The main sensor is by Sony and features a restructured pixel design, as they say, for image quality, for better image quality that is comparable, as they said, to 1-inch sensor. Now, when you switch its camera to portrait mode, this is where the Hasselblad comes into play, especially when you use the 3x mode. Now, this one is equivalent to 70mm telephoto camera, which is ideal for portrait shots. You will need to move further away from the subject, but the result is really good even at low light, at least for me. The phone works fantastically well on other modes like wide and ultra-wide. Regardless of the mode I used, the sensor always tries to give you the best possible output. Colors pop and the right amount of saturation and balance are achieved very well. OPPO also has this OCP, or also known as OPPO Computational Photography and Pro XDR, that help you achieve and view better results of photo output. OCP uses the phone's HDR system to fine-tune your shot to create a more natural image with the right amount of highlights and shadows. You will also get to view the changes you've made by OCP on N3's gallery thanks to Pro XDR. And that is, of course, utilizing the HDR capability of the phone's display. This is also the first foldable smartphone that I experienced to have more than 100 times zoom. In fact, this phone can go beyond that. It can go up to 120 times zoom. Since it has OIS and AI, the phone will try to stabilize the viewfinder so it's easier for you to take a photo of your chosen subject. Color OS on this device was also refined, pun intended, in such a way that would enable you to maximize its foldable form factor. It has global taskbar that can let you access your favorite apps wherever you go, and also features boundless view that can let you use full-screen apps on its 7.8-inch display. You can enable it by launching 2 apps in split-screen view and then tap Expand View. This is a very convenient way of switching up to 3 apps in full screen on a foldable device without sacrificing important details of the apps. This is something that I did not see in other foldable smartphones. Now, what's good about this is that you also have the option to save boundless view groups on your home screen. Now, this is the most convenient setting on a foldable smartphone I have ever used. Kasi yung iba, ang nangyayari is you have to reset everything again should you close some applications. Now, with this mode, this very convenient mode, you just simply tap that icon that you saved on your home screen, and all the applications that you've saved would come out on the bigger display with the boundless view enabled. Now, in terms of battery, the Find N3 packs 4800 mAh battery and supports 67 watts Super VOOC charger. It also comes with a Super VOOC charger inside, so if you have any plans of getting this outside the country, well, OPPO got you covered. Honestly, I do not have enough data to tell you about its battery life because I did not have enough time to test the OPPO Find N3. Now, what are the things that they could have done differently? The camera bump on the N3 is just too huge for me. I know that it packs all the good camera technologies that this phone can offer, but they could have at least slimmed it down. Also, the hinge got a little hot when I was benchmarking and playing Diablo Immortal. I am not sure if this is because of the software of our review unit is still in early stage, but that's something that you should know. Knowing OPPO, they have the knack of improving the overall experience of their smartphones over time. So we can expect, software updates moving forward. Now, that's it for our video today. I hope you learned a lot about the new OPPO Find N3. It's an exciting new product. While it is not coming out here in the Philippines, you might get a chance to buy one in Hong Kong, Singapore, and probably in China. This has been Gian of Gadget Pilipinas. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love it if you can click the subscribe and notification buttons. Again, thank you and see you in the next video. Bye!